Welcome to our countdown of the top 5 most dangerous countries in the world in 2024. Now, before you start complaining about how I've obviously never visited your aunt's creepy basement, let's be clear. Sadly, danger is everywhere on this planet. We've got tons of conflict, poverty, and governments that seem to make life really hard for their citizens. The countries we're about to talk about aren't just dealing with one problem. They're facing a bunch of serious issues that make them unsafe for almost everyone. It's a mix of violence, instability, and so much uncertainty that no one knows what's going on. So get ready, because we're about to take a trip around the world to places where travel insurance companies panic. We'll be looking at why these nations are struggling, how it affects the people who live there, and maybe we can learn about some places people don't talk about much. First on our list of places you probably don't want to visit is Syria. Now, you might be thinking, Syria, really? That's been a war zone for a long time, and you'd be right. For over 10 years, Syria has been in a brutal and complicated civil war with so many different groups fighting that it's hard to understand. We're talking government armies, rebel groups, ISIS trying to come back, and other countries all making things worse. The result? Well, imagine a normal day, but instead of worrying about traffic, you're dodging bombs, going through checkpoints run by teenagers with lots of guns and trying to find affordable food. But here's the thing about Syria. Even with all the destruction, people are still trying to live their lives. There are kids going to school in basements, doctors doing surgery with candles, and families holding on to hope. See, that's the thing about danger. It often hides how strong people can be. It's easy to see Syria and just think it's a country destroyed by war, but there are millions of stories of survival, of loss, and of wanting peace. Next, we go from Syria to the beaches of Honduras. Now, before you pack your swimsuit, let me stop you. Because while Honduras has beautiful scenery, it also has a lot of murders. We're talking about a level of violence that's really scary. This isn't just small crimes. We're talking about powerful gangs running neighborhoods, corrupt police, and people living in constant fear. Imagine being too scared to let your kids play outside, not because of cars, but because of gunshots. That's the reality for many people in Honduras. Now, you might be wondering, how did it get this bad? Well, it's a mix of poverty, inequality, and a government that doesn't protect its people. Add in the drug trade and you've got a recipe for disaster. But there is still some hope. There are communities fighting the gangs, activists demanding change, and young people dreaming of a better future. Chapter 3. Venezuela, From Riches to Rags. From Honduras, we go to Venezuela, a country that shows that even being rich can go wrong. Venezuela has lots of oil, which should make it very wealthy, but bad management and corruption have ruined the country. The money is almost worthless. Your savings become worth less than a used napkin. It's not just the economy. There are shortages of basic things: food, medicine, toilet paper. These things are hard to find in Venezuela. Hospitals are missing supplies, crime is everywhere, and people are leaving the country. You might be thinking, how dangerous can it be? Well, imagine walking down the street and seeing armed men. Are they police? Are they criminals? It's hard to tell. Chapter 4. South Sudan. South Sudan is a new country, but it's already facing many problems. South Sudan became independent in 2011 and everyone was excited. But then things went bad very quickly. We're talking civil war, starvation, and a lot of violence. Imagine a country where just staying alive is hard, where you're more likely to die from a preventable disease than of old age, where clean water is rare and going to school is almost impossible. That's South Sudan, but there is still some hope. There are aid groups helping people, communities rebuilding, and the spirit of the South Sudanese people who don't give up. Chapter 5. Afghanistan. Afghanistan has been through a lot of trouble, decades of fighting, invasion, and broken promises. The US military left recently and the Taliban took over, who are not known for protecting human rights. But there's another crisis in Afghanistan, a healthcare crisis. Hospitals don't have supplies, doctors are leaving, and people can't get basic medical care. Imagine a country where giving birth is very dangerous, where a small infection can kill you, and where healthcare is a luxury. That's Afghanistan today. So there you have it, our tour of 5 of the most dangerous countries in the world. These are real places, with real people facing real problems. Now, I know this is depressing, but here's the thing. Knowing about these problems is the first step. By learning about these places, we can start to understand their problems and maybe find ways to help. So stay informed, stay safe, and maybe consider donating to a good organization working in these countries, because we're all part of this world and we need to help each other. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.